Thank you, everyone who are already with us today. Whenever you are joining from your office, home office, maybe favorite coffee shop, or you are still in pajamas with something, maybe a cup of something strong. No judgment, just great content ahead. And today let's talk about something every marketer cares about: how to do more with less. Less time, fewer tools, and a lot of fewer headaches. A quick word about me while this slide up. I've been in digital marketing for over 11 years, mostly working on strategy and automation. And now I'm a part of the team at Yespo, where we help businesses turn data into growth. Our clients are from 31 countries, and here you can see some of the brands that have already achieved great results using our tools, whether they're using one tool of our tools or combining them for full stack solution. But today we won't talk only about our dear customers, but also we'll immerse ourselves into the three pillars of effective communication, the main barriers to implementing automation and how to overcome them, the most profitable workflows you should start with or add to your current strategy, how personalization and omnichannel approach improve ROI and reduce costs, and finally, real case studies from brands who use Yespo tools and with real results. But before we dive in, let me ask you a quick question. How do you think, how many messages an average person receives daily? Please drop your guess in the chat. Okay, maybe no guesses. Let's move forward. So the real number might surprise you. Adults under 45 get about 50 to 80 messages a day. And what about teenagers? Way more. And if we count all the inboxes, messengers, email clients, personal and work related, it can easily reach over 100 messages daily. So here's the challenge. In this digital noise, how can your brand stand out? How do you make your messages visible and welcomed? Let's be real. Communication today is a part of our everyday life. People live in their inboxes, in their messengers. Not something to avoid. It's an opportunity. And the question is, how can we use that opportunity to send the right message to the right person in the right time and through the right channel? Fortunately, we already have the tools to do that. And today I'll show you how. Now let's talk about what direct marketing actually gives your business. First of all, it increases customer lifetime value, which is crucial for long-term growth. It helps you better understand your audience, their preferences, their needs, what they are likely to buy, and how they interact with your brand. It also builds trust and loyalty, especially when your communication is transparent. Also, adding some helps and supports the customers through their journey with your product or service. And of course, it stimulates both first-time and repeat purchases. But let's go back to the basics for a second and look at the main types of mailings. The first, most popular one is promotional. You know them well. Think about Black Friday deals, product selection with discounts, new arrivals, theme campaigns, and other special offers. They are great for increasing sales, activating and attracting new subscribers, and strengthening loyalty. Then we have informational, things like company news, schedule updates, service changes, store openings, or even helpful content about how to use your products more effectively. Both of these, promotional and informational, belong to mass campaigns. They usually send to a large part of your audience the same message to everyone. But once we get into triggered and transactional workflows, we move into the realm of automation. Triggers are automatic reaction to specific actions or behavioral changes. They have deliver your timely, personalized, relevant messages without manual effort. And here's a powerful statistics. Triggered messages generate 24 times more revenue than bulk ones. So everything we just covered, promo and info campaigns, are on the mass side. Triggers are smarter. You've probably seen them like cart abandonment emails or browser abandonment reminders. So how does it work? Let's say a customer visits your site, adding something to the cart, but doesn't complete the checkout. After a certain time, they receive an automated message reminding them to finish the purchase. These emails are rarely sent manually. They are fully automated based on customer behavior and product data, which is included into this email. And sometimes they don't even need to add the product to the cart. It's just enough to viewing them. Then where their targeting kicks in, you will see dynamic ads with viewed products and banners across other websites. And also in your inbox, you'll get a message saying, hey, you look at this item, still interested? Here's your chance to grab it now or explore similar ones. The trigger-based communication strategy is essentially a plan that defines when and what kind of automated messages should be sent to customers based on their actions and behaviors. It allows you to automate communication processes while delivering a personalized experience in the right message at the right time in the right context. And the last one, transactional workflows. You may have also heard of them, or another type of them is the post-purchase sequences. These are messages that automatically sent after the purchase is complete and usually include payment confirmation, delivery updates, tracking number info, return policy, or even care instruction or tips how to use your product. These emails don't just improve service, they also build trust and reduce support inquiries. And we were to visualize our efficiency, the efficiency of these different types of messages. We could play them like on a pyramid. At the bottom, we have mass campaigns. They go out in high volumes and don't require much effort per recipient. At the top, as we see, we have triggered communications. Fewer in number, but way more personalized and effective. But if we flip that pyramid upside down, we get our classic marketing funnel. The wider, lower part is all about awareness and acquisition. We reach a large audience. As we move upward or in marketing funnel downward, we reach smaller audience and focus on our engagement, conversion, post-purchase, and reactivation. So you can see these workflows are closely connected to the logic of the marketing funnel. They guide the customers through each stage, from the first touch point to repeat purchases. Okay, so quick check if there's any questions. Okay, no, let's move forward. Now that we understand the types of communications, and we also need to talk about the preparation stage, the groundwork for success, and to build a strategy. The step one, define the goal of your strategy. What are you trying to achieve with your communication? Is it increasing the average order value, boosting purchase frequency, retaining existing customers, bringing back inactive users, or reducing churn? Whatever the goal is, it sets the direction for everything else. Next, we need to analyze the customer journey and identify key communication points, that type of content that's most relevant at each stage, and the channels we should use. where, when, and how to engage with different segments. Then we come to audience segmentation. This step helps us understand which triggers will be the most effective for each group, based on their behavior, life cycle stage, or value to the business. And once we made our first steps, we are ready to select the right triggers, build and set up workflows, prepare and content and creatives, launch campaigns. After that, we need to monitor results, measure performance, run tests, and finally scale what works best. Now let's talk about the 3 pillars that support the success of your direct marketing strategy. They help your communication stay effective, quick to launch, and enjoyable for your audience. And they are automation, segmentation, and personalization. Let's break each of them down, starting with automation. So what the benefits? Well, here's something surprising with first stat. Only 10% of the customer journey is fully automated across most companies. It's not our statistics, but it's close to it. So, and what's the opportunity when just only 10% automated? If you want to stay competitive, be timely and show up for your customer exactly when they need you. You can automate more. It be among be the best among your communication and gain a serious edge over others in your market. According to another stat, 91% of companies say their demand for automation has grown in the past 2 years. In response, more and more tools are being developed to make automation accessible. And here's the key number. Automated messages drive around 1/3 of all online revenue. It's where 1 in every 3 euros comes from automation. So if your communication isn't automated yet, or if you are still doing everything manually to stay in control, you may actually be losing up to 1/3 of your potential revenue. And let's be honest, no business wants to lose 1/3 of their revenue. And automation is the answer to how to find hidden opportunities for growth and profit. So why is automation the solution? Because it saves time. And we remember, we want to spend fewer time and to get fewer headaches. It allows you to launch campaigns without manual effort. No need to go and press send every time. It also reduces human errors, especially when you are managing your data and insights in spreadsheets or moving audience manually between tools. Maybe you are syncing contacts between your CRM, email platform, other marketing platforms, and your advertising accounts. All of this creates a risk of missing key information or sending something to the wrong segment. Automation solves it. It ensures real-time interaction with your audience because by the time you analyze the whole data, define the right segment, create content or different type of contents, get through the approval process, the moment may already begun. The customer moved on and the opportunity is lost. But when it's automated, the response is instant. You can react in the moment the user acts, no days later. Okay, another big advantage, scalability. What works for one person works just as well for hundreds and thousands. The logic stays the same, and the content can adjust dynamically. This means marketers can focus more on analytics, not routine operations. You spend time improving your key metrics, ROI or ROMI, instead of getting stuck in manual tasks. It also allows smart budgeting, budget distribution based on data, not guesswork. But why is automation still a struggle for so many? 10% of companies have automation fully figured out, as we remember. Yes? Why? But why only 10%? Because the reality is small and mid-sized businesses use around 27 different tools. And those tools aren't always cheap, often charged per active user, may limit data storage, offer only a partial functionality. That's when teams start cutting tools, turn off add-ons, and losing capabilities during the active process. Another common challenge is internal collaboration. Let's say your support team, sales team, marketing team all need different insights and data. How many people bought something? How many bought from specific category? When we need to renew the supply? What the average order value is? But if there's no integration between systems, teams are stuck waiting for someone else to pull this data to everyone else. Of course, some platforms offer built-in integrations with many tools, and this is a solution. Others rely on connectors like Zapier, which can help, but still come with risks, and we also faced with them. Things may fail, API may disconnect, bugs may go unnoticed because no one checks all notifications. And keeping all of this under control is a challenge in itself. Okay, I see several questions. We could stop for a minute here. If trigger-based campaigns perform better, do you think there is even a need to spend a lot of time on promo and informational campaign? Yes, because we are on different funnel stage. We can't move to the bottom of our marketing funnel, yes, to conversion before we work with our large part of audience. So promo and informational campaigns like warm up our audience and move through the customer journey to the target action. So that's why, yes, we couldn't skip them. And in the next slides, I will show how to make them more efficient. We do it manually because we don't know how to automate. Thank you. And automate effectively. So many tools on the market, they are quite expensive, but we are not sure whether they will work for us and drive will be good. Yeah, it is. As our slide is showing, yes, there are a lot of tools, and we try always something new, because we read success stories about, okay, this tool performed better in this case. This tool outperformed these indicators. And we want to repeat everything. And we install new tools, we connect them. And after that, we are like just wandering around between tools and don't understand where our data actually is. And some specific tool I keep in mind, which could help with some part of these challenges. So thank you for your questions, and let's return to our slide. Yeah, so what else is holding business back from automation? First of all, lack of experience. Learning to use 27 different tools. That's a challenge in itself. Either you hire a person for each tool, 27 people in the team to use different tools, or someone has to figure it all out alone. This creates a shortage of human resources, convenience, and budget. And on top of that, there's a big question mark. Is this even working, as you mentioned? Yeah, is it worth the time and money to use all of them? Every system offers tons of features, but to truly benefit, you need to understand how to use them effectively. And there are also two major blockers that come up again and again. At the bottom of the slide, to see around 1/3 of businesses don't have clear strategy for why they need automation in the first place. Another sort, they say they don't have enough customer data to automate properly. And the thing is, these two challenges are deeply connected. When you don't have a clear strategy, you don't know what data you actually need. You may already be collecting a lot of it, even just basic analytics or Google Analytics and similar tools have give you plenty of insights. But without clear focus, are you optimizing for retention or acquisition? Do you want to increase purchase frequency or average order value? Without clear goal, if you don't know the why, it's hard to understand the what. You don't know which tools to connect, really, what you need to do right now, and which data to enrich your system with. So what's the answer to these challenges? First of all, that's exactly why we built Yespo, an omnichannel customer data platform. Yespo helps you collect and unify customer data across all channels. Create a single customer profile that includes site behavior, mobile app activity, and even offline purchases. You could actually track everything: what users viewed, added to the cart, bought, clicked, every event across the journey. This allows you to build highly granular signals, deliver personalized experience across all channels and all devices, and get deep analytics and reports to track results. Our mission is to provide marketers with a single ecosystem that brings together the most essential tools for automating communication in one place with one logic and under your control. But we are not alone. There are a lot of similar tools, and you need to go back and define your goals and strategy, and you will understand which tool is really right for you now, for your type of business, for your size of business. And so we defined our strategy, we've chosen our tools. Now it's time to go back to the customer journey. Let's analyze our marketing funnel and see how people move through it, from first contact and engagement to the first purchase, retention, and reactivation. You'll see 6 case stages on the slide, each tied to a part of the funnel. So let's start the first one. Sorry. How do we automate data collection? It's critical to ensure that all forms and entry points are collecting data properly. And not only collecting, that it all flows into a single customer profile. That includes subscription forms, pop-ups, we call them widgets in our system, registration forms, checkout fields, wish list, every touch point where a customer might leave their contact should be connected to your platform. For example, Yespo, a Ukrainian online bookstore, wanted to grow their database. So instead of using a standard pop-up asking for an email in exchange for a discount, they implemented a gamified widget, specifically a scratch card pop-up. So there is unfortunately no animation, but when you move your mouse, like every scratching card, you discover what is inside. And as a result, 35% more new contacts compared to a regular pop-up, 5% additional revenue from that channel, and almost 2% increases in conversion rate. That's the power of gamification. it makes interaction fun and boosts engagement. But data doesn't come only from forums. We also need to track behavior across your website. What people click on, what pages they view, what categories interest them, what they add to the cart, add to wish lists, what they subscribe to, what type of categories or type of materials. And the same applies to your mobile app if you have one. You should also gather interaction data from their communication channels. For example, which emails people open, what links they click, what content they respond to. If you have offline stores, make sure you're syncing that data too. Your in-store staff could identify customers by loyalty card to scan them or ask them for number at the checkout. And this data should fit into the same customer profile. There's even a term like for such behavior, research offline, purchase online, ROPO. So when the customer finally comes home and decides to make a purchase, your system already knows what they look at and can guide them straight to the right category of product and finalize the purchase. And don't forget about your external systems, analytics tools, CRM, marketing platforms, advertising platforms. All the data should flow into a single unified profile, giving you a complete picture of each customer's journey. And once you have it, you can use it for segmentation with confidence and very deep precision. And data quality is what brings our three pillars to life. Without data, without collecting this all data, there is no recommendations, no way to personalize content, no logic to trigger automation. You wouldn't know what to offer, when to send, or which channel to use. It's the richness your data, the depth of customer information that makes it possible to deliver the right message at the right time, through the right channel, to the right person. Okay, our second stage. I don't know. I don't see any more questions, so let's move forward. Engagement. We have already captured some initial data. Now we want to draw people further into their journey. Typically, there is where we launch welcome series or onboarding flows, reminders for those who abandoned their registration or their cart, messages that explain loyalty programs, offer extra motivation to return. And this is actually also about promo and mass campaigns. We're still working with them. And additionally, about this stage, it's one more important thing that we do, progressive data collection. In the beginning, most of companies keep forms short, because the longer the form, the fewer people complete it. So businesses usually collecting only email or mobile phone. But that's not enough for precision segmentation. Let's say you run a pet store. You'll need to know the customer have a dog, a cat, a bird, a reptile, or if you sell children's products, you'll want to know the child's gender and age, so you can tailor the communication to follow the child growth and offer what parents need at each stage of their child life. This is exactly where we focus on during the engagement phase, to enrich customer profile. We collect data, birthdays, child, pet age, brand preferences, favorite categories. And for example, grocery chain Varus, after launching their welcome flow, they performed an RFM analysis on their audience. And based on the insights from this analysis, They updated their welcome sequence and other flows and achieved a 10 times return on every euro invested into email campaign. As you see on the slide on the top right corner, there is a link where you can find real examples from this case in details. And best if you use QR codes for the slide. Okay, don't worry, we'll be sharing the full presentation with everyone who registered, along with extra materials at the end of the webinar. So let's go back to the numbers. We finished this part about promo campaigns, and as our listener mentioned, that automation, triggers, behavior-based actions are proven to work. But what about promo? Can they still perform? Yes. And in fact, you can significantly boost their effectiveness. Looking at the slides, you'll see the huge difference between CTR, between this type of messages, in conversion rate. So what you can do to boost promo type? Add product recommendation blocks to your promo messages. Using AI-powered algorithms, you can deliver highly relevant offers to millions of recipients. The algorithm predicts which product each user is most likely to purchase based on each of them previous orders, browsing history, and clicks. And on average, our clients see 14% increase in orders from promo emails and boost in CTR. Here's a real-life case. Licky24 from Romania, an online pharmacy. They added an AI-driven recommendation block to their regular promo campaigns. That's it. No complex redesign or using additional tools. They simply created a banner. Unfortunately, the email is cropped. You don't see the banner, but it's like regular email with banner. Then they added this recommendation block and just choose the type of content they wanted. Frequently bought together, new arrivals, bestsellers, top-rated products. And you could everything do it through the Yespo interface. As a result, a 70% increase in conversion rate from their bulk emails. Another case is about electronic e-commerce store. They reported that 50% of their sales from promo emails. And they come directly from the AI-powered product blocks. So yes, promo emails still work, and they can work even better with the right automation tools. What else Yespo could offer to automate your promo campaigns? Smart containers for faster email creation. These blocks automatically pull product info from your product feed. Product blocks that show all price, new price, discount percentage, characteristics like brand, color, size, or in the case of books, the author and genre, all inserted dynamically from your catalog. AI-powered translation for multilingual campaigns, so you can translate messages directly in the editor. Send time optimization, so your recipients get the email at the right time in their local time zone if your business is in different time zones in different countries or even continents. So even if you hit send at 2 a.m., if you work at night, they receive in their local time zone. Automatic resend. If someone didn't open or click, the system can resend the campaign to that segment with no extra effort from your side. Okay, now we're at the source stage. I see we have several additional questions. Okay, what do you recommend starting with if you are just launching email marketing? Start Simple. Don't try to cover all types of messages and communications. Or when we talk about triggers, don't try all of them. Start with the basic and most popular. For promo, welcome series, it's initial stage, and 1-2 key triggers like cart abandonment. But really start with them, because even from our customers, not all of the business in e-commerce have already launched them. Then gradually add promos and personalization as your database and collected data grows. Okay. Do I need a developer if I want to implement your suggestions such as gamification, triggers, and recommendation? Okay, about to start, for example, show widgets or launch web push notifications, you just need to add a little piece of code, like our script, that could start showing widgets and web push. And most of CMS and admin panels of the website allow you put this code manually without asking developers to help you. Or if you use GTM, you also would put it by yourself, or your marketer who works with GTM could put this piece of code. If we talk about recommendations and more complex thing, yeah, I think you need developers, because you need to set up product feed, updates from your website about product info. And usually our customers spend around 1 to 2 months for integration stage. So yes, here you need developers. But after the preparation stage is over, you don't need more developers, because you could simply use drag and drop tools in the editor to add these recommendation blocks, product blocks, and all messages are like no coding editing. So from more advanced cases, yes, you need, but only to start. Okay, thank you for your questions. Let's move forward. Segmentation, and not simple segmentation. Segmentation based on unlimited parameters. And this is key. Don't limit yourself to just static or demographic data. Truly powerful segmentation comes from behavioral data, which changes constantly. What your users are browsing today, yesterday, 2 days ago, 2 hours ago, what they're clicking, everything they clicked on your website, what channel they interact with, what content they're reading, and when they last engaged and how. You can segment by specific time frames. For example, all users, people who purchased within the last 90 days with an average order value between 50 and 100 euros. This allows you to target upsell campaigns or work on increasing AOV in more smart, data-driven way. For example, Moldau, an everyday goods and alcohol marketplace, they already used with us email, SMS, and Viber messengers. And they added website widgets in their communication strategy. They wanted to expand their database and collect more detailed customer insights. So they launched a gamified pop-up survey Visitors were asked a few short questions about their relationship with alcohol, and in return, they received a gift. The logic was dynamic. If someone answered no, the flow would stop. If they answered yes, it would continue to go deeper. This helped them segment their audience into customers who enjoy specific types of alcohol. I hope YouTube don't put anything about 18 over age for our video. People who don't drink and those who prefer non-alcoholic beverages. They also tested another pop-up. This time, tied this pop-up to a special occasion, the company's birthday. And they created a festive subscription form with a gift offer and compared to a classic discount-based subscription form. And as you can see, all three pop-ups outperform traditional forms in terms of new subscriber growth. Not only that, they, as you remember, enriched their database with more detailed insights to fuel better segmentation down the line. If you want to know how the logic works, how to design these flows, or how to launch them, you will find everything in our detailed cases using the link or search through our website. Another great example is from UA, huge marketplace with over 12 million monthly visitors. 40 million monthly visitors. And 100 million products. And here's the kicker. Most of those products come from 60,000 individual sellers. The scale is impossible to manage manually. So what did they do? They started by implementing cross-platform behavioral tracking, capturing user activity both on the website and the mobile app. Based on that, they created micro-segments and added AI-powered product recommendations to all their campaigns. As a result, 3% additional sales directly from recommendation blocks and 5 times increase in revenue from direct channels. So their direct communication channels became significantly more profitable because for such huge projects, such huge website, each one, even one increase in 1%, have a significant impact in revenue and long-term return revenue. So where can you go from here? Let's say you already have segments based on demographics and purchase history. As marketer, we could build a hypothesis, like people who bought in the last 7 days won't buy again just yet. But those who haven't bought in 90 days might be ready. Of course, it depends on your product, type of product, whether it's a fridge or bottle of dish soap. Some products are bought every few months, maybe some weekly, and some once in a decade, like a fridge. And here's where predictive segmentation comes in. This concept isn't new. Platforms like Meta, Google, Amazon, Netflix have used predictive models for years. If you're a marketer who have ever launched a Facebook or Google ad campaign, you'll likely see the automated audience selection feature. You upload the visual text and the platform picks the best audience for you. In Yespo, we offer the same kind of prediction power with built-in models like forecasts, likelihood to purchase, or risk of churn. You don't need to guess which filters to use. Just select a pre-built predictive segment and launch a campaign. And that way you can re-engage users before they churn or reach those most likely to convert. It's a perfect moment. For more details, and how it works, you can learn more using QR codes you see now. And we have 2 articles explaining predictive segmentation in simple terms, and another going to the technical side behind the models. And what about numbers? There is also a case by Biodera, another online alcohol store, our favorite clients, use predictive segmentation in their SMS campaigns. And for a cart recovery campaign, predictive segmentation generated 18 times more revenue than the manual one. Why this so effective? Okay, let's be honest. No matter how experienced a marketer is, they can't manually process the full purchase history of every customer. Even if they try, they're only looking at a small window of time. Maybe they can track the last order day, frequency of purchases, average cart size. As we remember, some demographic traits which we have already collected. But what about purchase patterns? What products were bought together? And each customer has different items in their cart. What were their characteristics? Size, brand, color. What else might go well with those items? So what they want to buy next after the previous purchase made. That's where AI goes much further than any manual approach. AI can also analyze browsing behavior among the whole website and mobile app, time spent on specific items, products used but not purchased, and even similarities between customer groups. Let's say someone bought a bike and a helmet. We might assume that they won't buy a water bottle or a bike bag next. But AI will also consider seasonality. Maybe it's winter, so they might want gloves or a rain jacket. Regional preferences. Maybe cyclists in this area prefer thermal gear. Product gaps. What they're missing that others like them usually buy next. And all of this happen automatically in real time. And that's a beauty of predictive segmentation. It defines who is most likely to make a purchase and who is at risk of churning. Even both these groups bought something 90 days ago, as we decided to check our segment manually. They may look the same in the manual segment, but predictive models pick up subtle differences in activity. Okay, so we have covered automation and segmentation. Now it's time for the third pillar, personalization. We have one more question, so let's consider it. What are the most effective strategies for collecting contacts for our database? Our current process have been quite slow, and we are looking to improve it. First of all, analyze where customer usually starts their journey, and add forms, pop-ups, lead magnets, depends on what type of business do you have, to your website, and try to collect as much data as you can. And after that, enrich those data. But the most effective, actually, we have article about, I guess, more than 10 proven ways to grow your database and collect contacts. If my colleagues are here, they could share this article, or I will add to the presentation. But yes, start with pop-ups. Now you can see at the slide gamified widgets like stretch cards, Wheel of Fortune, to encourage and add in fun to the user experience. And try different placements, try different types of pages, and like time frames when to show, after what specific event to show. So it's like where you should start. Thank you, Maria, for your question. And return to personalization. So when we think about personalization, we usually picture product recommendations in emails and on websites. But we could go beyond that. We can also personalize the entire customer journey, both on website and mobile app, using interactive widgets. These widgets come in many forms: simple pop-ups and informers, surveys, NPS forms, and gamified elements like Wheel of Fortune, scratch card, gift selectors. You don't have to show them to everyone. So to guide and personalize custom user experience on the website, you can use segmentation to target specific audience, or even show them only authorized users. Let's take Adidas as an example. They want to guide the website visitors toward the right product categories. But at first, they didn't know if someone was interested in men's or women's products. This user identification and segmentation, they were able to show relevant pop-ups and content, not just generic promotion, like 20% off all clothing. They delivered personalized offers based on gender, product interest, and browsing behavior, and show for women and men different pop-ups. As a result, such widget CTR increased almost to 8%. And of course, personalization also happens on the site through dynamic content blocks. As you can see in this GIF, at the top there is shown recently viewed items like browse history, and further down, personalized recommendation like recommended for you, others also bought, popular now bestsellers, similar items. They are generated using machine learning and past behavior. Once the user is identified, you can generate these personalized blocks based on purchase history, browsing patterns, favorite categories, or even individual preferences. You can take it even further. For these personalized blocks, you can set a minimum price threshold to increase AOV, limit to specific brands or categories, highlight new arrivals and promotional items. So you can combine them and apply specific filters to this block. So you want to show bestsellers which price is more than 1,000 euros. So you can choose type and additional filters and apply them. And let the algorithm do all the work instead of you. For example, Foxtrot, an electronic retailer, they added product recommendation blocks to their website, focusing specifically on accessorized categories, with a goal to increase cross-category purchases and order value. As a result, 16% in accessory sales by encouraging customers to add more complementary products to their cart. They block labeled something like frequently bought together with this item, and was shown on multiple pages. So don't limit to add this block to the most conversion pages. They used it on the homepage, all category pages, and individual product pages. So the recommendation with these complementary products follows the user over the whole, almost the whole site pages. And I'm sure you probably seen similar blogs on other websites. And when they powered by real data, not guesswork, not manual filters, they can make a significant impact. But how do we can make these recommendations even smarter? At Yespo, we use transformer models. It has the same architecture behind large language models like GPT. These models don't just look at past purchases. They actually understand the relationships between products, all the other browsing behavior and context. Example, if someone is browsing lots of dresses, traditional model might suggest handbags, scarves, or shoes. But in reality, that user might simply be looking for the perfect dress and hasn't found the right one yet. A transformer model can understand it, and instead of showing accessories, it continues to show more relevant dresses with the right color, the right size, or brand. Another example, someone have already bought a red cap, a red t-shirt, and red shoes. What are they likely to need next? Probably running shoes. And ideally in the same color, red. Standard recommender might just offer random sneakers, but a contextual model understands the styling preferences and offers what makes sense to that user. That's what makes those models different from classic recommenders. They can handle missing data, as you see about color, size, brand, understand multi-product relationships, so how they are connected, and contextual signals like browsing, clicks, and comparison, not only purchases. Master Zoom, pet supply store, they were one of the first to test our transformer-based recommendation agent. And compared to traditional recommendation blogs, they saw additional 46% in CTR, so higher CTR than the regular one, plus 70% increase in conversions and 66% more sales. We also tested these models, transformer models, across other industries. In electronics and tools, conversion rate grew up 29%, and in fashion retails, the improvement was next. CTR doubled, and conversion rates increased by 73%. Why? Because we finally stopped showing a woman who's browsing for a dress, random handbag. Instead, we showed her exactly what she's looking for. So results are impressive, and I highly recommend if you have a huge store with different types of products where our algorithms could be educated and apply recommendations, use them, because you will get a great results and boost in sales according to them. Okay, so how we do bring it all together? We have automated audience selection. We have automated product recommendations. We have collected as much customer data as possible. And yet people still live. They browse, add something to the cart, maybe start checkout, and disappear. In fact, 7 out of 10 visitors don't complete their purchase. That's exactly why triggered workflows like abandoned cart and abandoned browse are among the most popular and effective automations. The open rate for abandoned cart emails is around 45%. That's 2.5 times higher than for regular prom emails. And as you can see now on slides, we ran an internal study across clients and analyzed all the trigger campaigns and identified the 20 most used. On the slides you can see, and highlighted are most profitable, so 10 most profitable. At the slide you can find a link on this on our website and explore each of those triggers in details. How they work, what they look like, what the results they bring. And we also group them into key goals: conversion and retention and reactivation. Of course, all triggers help drive revenue, but depending on your primary goal, the best practices, some of the triggers outperform others consistently. Some interesting cases. For example, abandoned cart. At Shafa, it's a fashion marketplace. This trigger alone drives, only this trigger among other triggers, drives 25% of conversions. Antoshka is the kids' toys store, and over 50% of their trigger-based revenue comes from abandoned cart emails. And still yet, not all businesses are using it, which means many are leaving up to 50% of potential revenue on the table. Abandoned browse. The average CTR among our customers is around almost 10%. But depending on your industry, open rents can range anywhere between 18 to 90%. So you should test different approaches. And finally, let's talk about the most overlooked opportunity: reactivation triggers or win-back campaigns. Marketers often focus on getting more new users, more first purchases, but they forget about the people who already showed interest and then went quiet. And yet, retaining an existing customer is much more cost-effective than acquiring a new one. If you build reactivation flows to reach out when someone hasn't engaged in a while, or when it's time to reorder or renew, you can extend their life cycle and gradually increase AOV over time. Because reactivation emails generate 320% more revenue compared to sending generic mass promos to lapsed users. When you don't reactivate inactive users, you treat them like everyone else. They get the same promo, the same message, with no recognition of their silence. And with automated reactivation, you're responding at the right time based on their actual behavior. And results come from there. For example, Shafa, fashion retailer, their win-back trigger delivers 5% conversion rate. So it's additional 5% of revenue if you don't use such strategy. At Seminar, it's educational platform. They managed to activate nearly 10% of their dormant users, bringing them back into the funnel as active, after that, active and engaged customers. So they not only buy after this campaign, they started repeat purchases too. At Panda Shop, it's electronics store. This triggers drive significant revenue. Why? Because you already have the data. You are not trying to win over a stranger. You're reaching out of someone you know and who knows your brand and has shown already interested. They purchased something from you previously. and it's much more cost effective than launching new ad campaigns to cold traffic. Okay, question. Okay, no questions. The final part. Personalization can work across channels. On your website, in your mobile app, via email, SMS, push, messengers. And you can even bring this data into your ad platforms, call center scripts, to build a truly omnichannel communication system. Why does omnichannel work? Because the focus isn't on the channel, it's on the customer. It's not about repeating the same message everywhere. It's about delivering coordinated, timely, relevant message across touchpoints. For example, if a user reads an email but doesn't buy, adds a product to the cart but doesn't check out, you don't repeat the same message, you build on it. This makes the customer feel understood and supported, not bombarded with repetitive promotions. The result? Higher revenue, stronger loyalty, and better customer experience. And the data is that 73% of customers use multiple channels before making a purchase. If you rely just on one channel, chances are they'll forget about you and finish the purchase somewhere else. Why? Because no one reminded them, no one continued the conversation, no one made them feel remembered. It's not about spamming, it's about timing. Depending on your product, the decision cycle could be a few minutes, a few hours, or even 3 months. 1 or 2 reminders might not be enough in such case. It doesn't mean that customer is ignoring you. It just means that moment isn't right yet. And here's why omnichannel customer matter. They have 30% higher lifetime value than single channel customers. They convert 5 times better and are 3 times more likely to stay loyal. All of this becomes even more powerful if you combine our 3 pillars: automation, segmentation, and personalization across every channel, every step, and every touchpoint. Look at this case, Dnipro-M, a popular construction tools brand. They're in Ukraine popular, actually. They were using email as the main channel and decided to add to their trigger type of campaigns, open box and web push notifications. On the left side, you see the classic single channel flow. On the right, an omni-channel version of the same workflow. And one smart part of this omni-channel workflow, they prioritized the channels by cost, starting with the cheapest and moving up. The way if the customer converted early, they didn't need to spend money on additional reminders in more expensive channels. They only moved to the next channel. The results are significant. 2 times more orders from this type of trigger, only from this type of trigger. So if they apply such approach on other triggers, so they could increase orders from every type. 29% average open rate across all touch points, almost 10% conversion rate, and 70% of total sales coming from these multi-step automations. So by using all the methods we have talked about today, data collection, cross-channel communication, smart content generation, automation, AI-based segmentation, you can map out your customer journey and increase the baseline. And 10%, turn 10% into something much, much higher, all while maintaining stable, scalable growth. So to wrap it all up for today, where do we start? First of all, we start with data, because better data leads to better decisions. Better decisions lead to better results. And smarter budget use, more cost effective. Automation is not here to replace marketers. It's here to give them time back to focus on what really matters: strategy, creativity, growth, metrics. Data analysis across all systems can help you cut what doesn't work, double down on what performs best, and spend less time on repetitive testing moving forward. And at Yespo, we believe the future is not just about tools. Now it's about building a truly intelligent marketing assistant that helps you personalize, automate, and communicate with clarity and confidence. And for now, that's our strategic direction. So I want you to subscribe to our social channels, visit also YouTube channel to explore past webinars on best trigger workflows and case studies. What is predictive segmentation? How does it work? And about marketing assistant vision. And most importantly, book your personalized demo today. So we hope these new tools and ideas you find out today interesting and insightful for you will help you achieve your goals faster and smarter. Thank you. Okay, we have one last question. Is it expensive to implement omnichannel strategy? Won't it increase our marketing costs? It depends. If you have already used or have you already connected several channels or still using only mail. Because if you want to add additional channels like with push notifications or messengers, yes, it increases your costs. But if you have already connected them but using them separately, no, you don't. You won't increase costs. You need just use smart strategy and combine these channels in one workflow. And most of email marketing platforms and automation platforms allow you build difficult scenarios, workflows in one editor and combine channels in one place. So you just need to decide for you what channels are most relevant and at what time for your customers. Thank you for your questions. I'm glad to be here with you today. Hope we will see with you in your next campaign together.